Everybody, my name is Mike, and I'm a Christian. That's right, a Christian. No prefix, no suffix, and definitely no substitutions. I am only a Christian. And I'm coming to you today because I have had a couple of brothers and sisters who have asked a question, and I surely appreciate that because I asked for it. And lo and behold, these two people were the only two people who asked a question, and they just happened to be the same question. So what do you think I'm going to do about that? I'm going to ask that question. And the question was this: what about fellowship halls? That's right, fellowship halls. The little kitchenette that you might have in a church that would have a room outside of it with some chairs so that the members of the church could meet together from time to time and have a meal in the building. That's a very good question. And so, knowing me, I got a little OCD on it, and I started studying and asking other brothers and sisters for their opinions. And lo and behold, here's my answer. And like I've always said, I am fallible. I could be wrong. So if you have any book, chapter, and verse, please put it in the script in the comment section down below, so that we can study this topic further. And I guess I want to start off with the most important thing that we need to know as Christians is that we are not authorized to bind things that God didn't bind. And we're also not authorized in the same manner to loosen things that God didn't loosen. And so that's where I started with this study, and I suggest you do the same. And so that's what I did, and so I started looking to see, has God ever bound fellowship halls? And so I typed in the computer, Bible versus fellowship halls. Not in the Bible. So I said, well, fellowship halls are not in the Bible. So then I started Googling other things to find other scriptures on the topic. And you come across a scripture that does talk about that there was a time when people were eating and drinking in the church service. Some of them were stuffed full. Some of them were even drunk. But others were going without, and they didn't even have any food available for them, unleavened bread or juice, to even partake of the Lord's Supper. That they were totally being neglected. And he came in there and said, don't you have a home to go eat in? Don't you have a place where you can eat before you come to worship God? That this is not a place to come and worship, or to come and eat. We're to come and worship. And I'm thinking to myself, bingo, that's the verse that a lot of people are using. And I can see exactly how that verse could be taken out of context. But let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. Well, that scripture is about eating and drinking during worship. It has nothing to do with what goes on outside of worship. And so I would highly encourage the brothers and sisters who believe that fellowship halls are unscriptural and that churches who have them are sinfully spending God's money. I highly suggest you relook at these scriptures, because nowhere in the scriptures does it talk or say that we cannot have fellowship halls. Matter of fact, it tells us that we're to come together and have love feasts and to encourage each other in love and good works and all this other kind of stuff. And it says that they came together and had meals all the time together. So if you think that you can bind the church on fellowship halls, you are sadly mistaken. And I wanted to let you know that you should study a little bit further and realize that passage is speaking strictly about what goes on during worship. Now, if you come into my church and there is a row of tables and there's food and everybody just eating and drinking during prayers and singing and in the service and all that, now you can bind that because that's been bound. But coming together after service and meeting in a building that is not holy, that building is just a building, people. That's just a place that's convenient for us to come and worship together. It's the worship that's holy, not the building, people. So, if you think, and if you're binding and saying that it's sinful to come together after worship and meet together in the same building that you worshiped in and have lunch together and encourage each other in love and good works and to get to know each other better, you are binding something God didn't. And I highly encourage you to do a little bit more study. I love you. I love your soul. And if you love this video, or if you even like it, or if you don't like it, use the thumb up, thumb down, do whatever you got to do. But go down in the comment section, post why you gave a thumbs up or a thumbs down so that we can study this further. And make sure you bring book, chapter, and verse so that we can definitely know what God thinks about it. I love you. God bless. And have a wonderful day.